right, well, it's the morning of day 8. Didn't do any filming second half of yesterday or this morning for some reason. Couldn't get the camera to work correctly. So finally this morning here on this, chilling out on this suspension bridge, I decided to just try to reboot it. Should have done that yesterday, but whatever. So we're back at it. Yesterday had a long day for the trip yesterday of 12 miles. Felt really good about that. Feel pretty good this morning. Going to go about 10 today, I believe. Stop about at about 5 at a shelter for lunch. Can't remember the name of the shelter. And can't remember the shelter I'm planning to stay at tonight. I think it's like Green Hall or Green Well or something like that. But I believe this is called the Big Branch River or Big Branch Creek, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty cool. Yesterday was not as hot as the day before, but it was warm, really warm yesterday, particularly on the climbs. Really sorry I missed some of the footage yesterday. I'll try to maybe put in a still shot or two of Baker Peak. Man, that was just fabulous. Really kind of sheer cliff kind of look to it, almost a feel of the White Mountains. So I'll try to plug in a picture or two. But we're about a mile and a half, 2 miles in this morning. Feeling really good. The weather's cool. It got down into the 40s last night. I think it's going to get even colder tonight. That's a good thing. And so, yeah, we're just going to keep pushing. The bugs are still really, excuse me, the bugs are still really tough out here, but head net seems to be working pretty good. So I'm not going to let that bother us too much. All right, well, we'll check in again a little bit. All right, so pop back in here for a second. As I was saying, last night was a great night last night. Slept in the tent. Temperature dropped. Everything cooled down. Everything was just sticky and not really super humid like in a Florida way. But just warm, and have been sweating all day. Look how beautiful this is. Trail is following the Big Branch River right now. This should be the Big Branch shelter is right up ahead of us. By the way, there's some good tenting right along this river, right near the suspension bridge. So there's no tenting, as I understand, at the Big Branch shelter, which is right here, but there is tenting out here at the river, so might be a good option for you. So last night, the water source at Lost Pond Shelter, where I stayed last night, was a creek that ran below the shelter, and man, that just sounded so nice all night. Provided a great night's sleep. So feeling, like I said, pretty good. First time I felt the knees really sore this morning. Kind of pushing a little bit yesterday. So really, this morning's the first time I've had to hit the vitamin I, which is pretty remarkable. But anyway, I'm gonna work my way over this tree fall here, and I'll catch back in with you later. I just wanted to pop in and show you the river that's running along the trail here. It's makes for a nice stroll. We'll see you soon. All right, so this is the Big Branch shelter. Kind of typical shelter here for the Green Mountains on the long trail. Again, Big Branch River still right below. That serves as the water source. Water's been really good the last few days, by the way. Nice and clear, cold. Looks like Privy's right on up the side of the hill there. Not bad. Again, no space for tenting right here at the shelter, but you can tent down by the suspension bridge. So just keep that in mind. If you're headed here late, you might want to just stop at the suspension bridge, not push on to the shelter. You'll just have to turn around and walk back a tenth of a mile. Okay, pushing on. This, by the way, this is right on the trail. I'm standing on the trail right now, and that's kind of typical of a lot of shelters here on the long trail as well. All right, so we're about 5 miles out of this morning's camp. Right through the trees, I can start to see. Can't remember the name of this pond. I'll see if I can remember when we get up here. But this supposedly a fairly popular place for day hikers and such. Don't imagine in the middle of the week today there'll be many people out there, but there's also a little rock pond. Okay. So it looks like there's a shelter up here I'm going to stop at. It's about 11:30, I guess. Have some lunch, chill out a little bit. Weather's still really nice. Temps are really cool. Liking that. Let's see what we've got here. Little Rock Pond Loop, Long Trail, Appalachian Trail North. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my God. Probably kind of cold, or be a great place for a swim right now. All right, I'm gonna head to the shelter. All right, so just finished having lunch here at the shelter. It's a great shelter. There's some tending platforms like that one right there, and just across from the pond. I'm gonna switch the camera around. I'll show you the pond here in a second. Right, so we've been climbing pretty much straight out of lunch. Not real aggressive climb, pretty easy. But I just came across this old wall with some old, just like some old pieces of farm equipment laying around. Maybe an old homestead up here. Nothing really around anymore, except for these few things. Interesting. A little bit of history on the trail. Just came across a bear. Didn't spot him until he spotted me and took off. We'll keep the camera running for a second. He took off up that hill over there. Huh. Oh well, that was cool. Pretty good sized bear. All right, so I finished the bulk of my climbing for today. Got a couple little hiccups along the way before I get to shelter, about 1.6 miles up. But in an area called the White Rocks, I guess. Not sure if there's White Rock Mountain or exactly how that the terminology goes up here, but if you know, just put it down in the comments. But right up here should be pretty close. There's a rock garden that's supposed to be pretty interesting, so if you stick with me here for a minute, we'll take a look. Nice and cool up here. Bugs have not been nearly as bad today as they have been the last couple days. Imagine because of the cooler weather. Really pretty area here, man. You can see all the fir fir trees. Awesome. See, I think we might be coming up on something here. I guess this is it, this collection of cairns and rocks. All right, now just a little way up, I guess around 3/4 to a mile, 3/4 of a mile to a mile, there is a side trail that goes 0.2 off the trail that takes you to White Cliffs. So pretty sure I'm going to hit that. I'll make a decision once I get up there, but if I do, I'll film a little bit from that point. All right, so I'm kind of walking this ridge a little bit here, and we're about a half mile from camp. Came across this, pretty interesting. I'll have to add one of my rocks here. This is White Rock Junction. And I believe there's a side trail here in a second that goes down to White Cliffs, White Rock Cliff or something like that. So I'll see if I can find that. Okay, so up near that cairn garden, that rock garden, I took a blue blaze side trail, get you up here to White Rock Cliffs. This is what it looks like up here, but some great views. Awesome views. There's fir trees here, I guess, that have grown up over the years that are obscuring some of the view that I guess used to be here, but hey, that's part of the plan, right? So here we go, flying above. All right, I left my pack down below, so I'm gonna head back. Got about a half mile to camp. See ya. All right, everyone. So it's the end of, gosh, what day is it today? End of day 8 or 9, something like that. Settled into the Greenwall shelter here. Only one here tonight, I guess, so far. It's about 8:30. So unless someone is on the trail late, probably be the only one here tonight. First shelter I've been at where there is no one else. You can see back there, hanging in the tree. Fool me once, as they say. So, got the bag hanging in the tree this time. Hopefully, I've had my one stolen bear bag for the trip. Speaking of bears, I saw one on the trail today. That was pretty cool. I was walking, just ascending, and forget what mountain it was. Maybe it may have been White Rocks. Not sure, but just saw some movement over to my right, and by the time I looked over there, he or she, I'm not sure, was kind of bounding off up the hill. Pretty good size. Got a really great look as it ran away from me. Didn't have time to take out my phone. By the time I took it out, I couldn't see it. So anyway, hopefully we'll get some more sightings in the coming days. But Decided to not set the tent up tonight. That's going to be home. You can see I got the thermarest and the enlightened equipment quilt set up, ready to go. Good water source at this. It was kind of sketchy sounding on gut hooks about whether there was going to be water or not, but the water running just a few feet in front of the shelter is well, it's running pretty good right now. Though there has been a lot of rain. I'm not sure. Maybe in a month or two when it dries up, that may diminish a little bit. But for now, the water's really good. Filtered some, great water so far. Since probably the first or second day, there's been great water at every shelter. There was good water at the early shelters, just just not as clear as I'm getting right now. So the plan tomorrow is to get to Clarendon shelter. Maybe a little further. We'll just see how it goes. That'll put me right at the doorstep of Mount Killington, and that's gonna be a pretty good climb. That'll be the first 4,000 footer so far on this trip. So plan to be out. Let's see, Clarendon tomorrow. Maybe up top of Killington. Definitely at least on top of Killington on Friday, and then should be hiking into the road crossing to go into Rutland on Saturday, and then probably take a zero on Sunday. Going to try to get into the Yellow Deli. So we'll see how that goes. That's the plan. Looking forward. I'll check with you guys in the morning. Good night. All right, this is June 15th, Thursday, June 15th, 10th day on the trail. First thing in the morning, getting ready to pull out of Greenwall shelter. It's about 7:30. Getting a little bit better on my starts. First day out, I think I started at 9:40. So getting out a little bit earlier. Feel pretty good. Woke up really tight this morning, really sore. Only one to stay here last night. No one else showed up. First time I stayed at a shelter, no one else was here. It was actually pretty nice. I didn't set up my tent last night. I was a little bit too lazy, so I just set up, slept in the shelter, and it was fine. I didn't really hear anything. I didn't notice any mice or anything like that. So water source here is fantastic. I say that because this has been a wet season, but probably a month or two down the road, it might be a little tougher to get water out of that source, but right now it's flowing nicely and it's great water. So privy here is awesome. It looks like privy looks like it's a lot newer than the shelter, and it's clean, well taken care of. So anyway, gonna hit the trail now. I'm hoping to make it to Minerva Hinchy by lunchtime, pushing to Clarendon at least. Clarendon today, that gives me about 10 miles, 9 to 10 miles today. Should set me up to, still setting me up to get to Rutland by Saturday. That's the goal. So anyway, gonna pull out now, and I'll see you on the trail. Pretty cool area, Cascades. There's a cabin site or two on the other side. Obviously, lots of water. Not bad first thing in the morning. All right, well, off the trail here, right in the middle of the Green Mountains. Got off here at the Inn at the Long Trail, McGrath's Irish Pub, one of the real landmarks on the Long Trail, and decided to call it a day. It's been a great 2 weeks. Like I told the bartender inside, I got what I came for. It's been, I kind of got everything I needed in a 2 week span. Had some difficulties on the trail, Had some great times, some great views. Really enjoyed it, and definitely plan on coming back and working my way further north. Knees started to get a little sore, and I just stepped off onto the road crossing and said, going home. Miss the family, miss the wife, miss the kids, and so it's going to be back to Florida now. Picked up a rent-a-car at Enterprise in Rutland, and I'm going to start making my way south. It's been an awesome trip, and I'm glad you've all been watching the videos, and I hope you've enjoyed them. All right, till the next adventure. I'm out. All right, so I made my last stop here in Vermont, I guess, at least, but I think it's going to be my last stop at Long Trail Brewing. Awesome beer, man, and food. If you get a chance, you're up in this area, this is a must stop. I certainly will be back at some point. It's right here on Route 4, just about 8 miles from where you step off of the AT or the LT. Man, just a great beer, great people. You can smell the hops right now. You can smell the brewing. Fantastic. Ready for the drive home.